Hey chat, how are you? Sighs like I just unclogged a drain. So I had noticed that my bathroom sink, faucet, if you will, was draining slower and slower over the past few weeks. So when it comes to like household chores, I like to put it on a list Monday to Friday. Nah, I ain't doing all that. I like to come home, shower, eat, and then watch Love After Lockup. Unless it's a Tuesday, then we watch Below Deck. But I put it on my weekend to-do list. I'm like, all right, let me unclog this drain or get this faucet a rolling. So I did what every smart journeyman plumber does. I grabbed a plastic comb from Dollar Tree, and I jam it in the sinkhole, the sharp edge of the plastic comb, and it's worked before, and I don't see why it wouldn't work again. But nothing. In fact, it got worse. It was no longer even draining. It just sat there. So I turned on the water a little, and then just a bunch of detritus came up in the water and just sat there. And I was like, okay. So I head on over to the YouTubes, watch a few videos. Give me the 1 or 2 minute videos. You people out here with 8-minute videos on how to unclog your drain, who the heck is watching that mess? I ain't miss me with that stuff. But one of the things I saw was grab a toilet plunger, and I was like, all right, I'll try that. So I do the toilet plunger on the sink, but then the faucet or the sink is angled. It's not flat like a toilet. It has curves here and there. So I had to like plunge, and move it a little to the side, to the right. Plunge, move it back a little. Plunge, to the left, to the right. Now slide. Dip, baby, dip. Come on now. Toilet plunger. Black pieces of whatever start flying everywhere. They look like little pieces of charcoal or burnt driftwood, but this crap just starts flying everywhere. On my sink, on my mirror, on me. I'm like, what the heck's going on here? Even the little overflow hole, the thing at the top front of your sink, even when I was plunging, stuff started shooting out of there. I was like, what the hell's going on with this? It was disgusting. It had a bunch of Clorox Lysol wipes. We use the Great Value brand, Walmart for life. And so I'm wiping things up, I'm cleaning things, but still nothing. It just sits there, the still water with all these little pieces of black whatever. It's just it was horrifying. So what we have here is a clog, Senator. So I thought about putting in Drano, but then Drano would just sit there and ruin the faucet, the porcelain or whatever of the sink. But we have a ton of Drano. I was like, oh, I should have started with the Drano. So I text a plumber and I tell him the problem, take a few pictures for him or her. Jacob's Plumbing, so it's probably him. And they did our shower, which was an ordeal. They unclogged our shower. They came here within a couple hours, and they were really good and they were really fast. Well, there's not much to do. You just need an industrial strength drain snake machine, and it just takes a couple minutes. But texting with Jacob or whoever it is on Jacob's end, and I'm like, how much will this cost? I have a clogged drain here. And he responds with $185. And I go, we take $160 with cash? And he said, okay. Oh, yeah. See, I learned something from watching Pawn Stars. And then so I'm going back and forth with Jacob about this and that. And he's like, okay, my guy will be right over. And I was like, whoa, simmer down. I watch HGTV. You need 3 quotes before you enter into a binding purchase order. So I said, calm down, simmer. And then, but he kept pushing it. He was like, my guy's on the way over. He's not going to be in an unmarked car. He'll be there at 2:30. I was like, guy, So I said, we're not home. We left. We went to grandma's. I lied. I lied to Jacob. I'm sorry. But it was just high pressure sales tactics via text message. It's a new frontier we're in, people. Then I contact Anthony Simon, who's our neighbor / friend / local handyman for primarily our little condo complex here. He works with a lot of people. Told him the issue, sent him a couple pictures. He said $75, and I said, what about cash? And he said 60, and I said, yeah, that's right. Cash is king, people, which is why the government wants to eliminate it so they can track your ass. You know who wants a cashless society? The Skull and Bones fraternity, the Bilderberg group, and people who attend Renaissance fairs. So I got this drain, and then I'm like, okay, simmer down, Jacob. Anthony Simon says I can't be there till Tuesday. I'm like, okay, so I got these two on the line. But in the back of my head, I'm like, I think I can do this. I think I think because it doesn't seem difficult. I'm just trying to unclog a drain to get whatever crap is down there. It's a bunch of hair, a bunch of skin, I guess. But I can do this on my own. So I hop on Amazon and I type in drain snake, and I get a 6-pack, $8. But then I paid an extra $3 for day of. I was like, I want it now. I want to take care of it. Let's do this. $3 when plumber guy wanted to charge me $185, extra $3 for day of service, no problem. So Jeff Bezos says it'll be there between 2 and 6 p.m. Okay, cool. By the way, this is how I buy on Amazon. Go to Amazon.com or use their web app or whatever, and then I type in drain snake. You skip the sponsored results. The sponsored results is just paid placement. Okay, you don't want that mess. So skip. Sometimes there's 3, sometimes there's 5. But the first non-sponsored result is where you want to look. Usually within the first 3 non-sponsored results is where you should make your purchase. Because sometimes the first non-sponsored result has 12 reviews and you're like, what? And then the second non-sponsored result has 8,000 reviews, but 4 stars. And it's like, okay. But the third result, non-sponsored, 5K reviews, 4.5 average star rating. And yes, all these ratings are bought and paid for. And by bot, I mean B-O-T and B-O-U-G-H-T. It's all fake. No one cares. It's all a charade, okay? But we do what we can. It's better than walking into a store like we did 30 years ago and saying, oh, I have 2 choices here. So that's, and then next thing, so decide what you want. I'm a very discriminating shopper. I really am. And then I do the subscribe and save. Don't sleep on the subscribe and save. They're like, okay, we're going to give you 2 snake drains every 3 months. And you say, okay. And you save 8%, 50 cents. Sometimes it's $3. That's fine. That's fine. But then once you get your snake drain, then you cancel subscribe and save. I'm in my subscribe and save once every few weeks, canceling stuff. I use it all the time, especially for Grandma Teen. If she wants something, subscribe and save, boop. Okay, it gets to her, and then I cancel, subscribe and save. But I saved 83 cents. Yeah, playa. I also needed some pliers, some groove pliers. I have pliers, I have wrenches, but I needed some groove pliers because the little pop-up stopper where it's attached in the sink, it's difficult to get to, and it's just a circular nut bolt thingy. So I needed something where I could really use my strength. I lift. I'm really strong. So I needed some different pliers for this job. And then I go back to watching YouTube. YouTube gave me the confidence I need. My daddy walked out on me and my mom when I was 7. He abandoned me and never taught me about handyman projects. But YouTube is there for me. YouTube is the father I never had. Give me a minute here, people. Hold on. Turn off the camera. So I'm like, okay, I'm gaining more confidence in what I'm about to do. And I'm like, okay, I don't want to wait for Jeff Bezos 2 to 6 p.m. more like 5:53 p.m. is when it actually came. It's still early afternoon, so I'm like, I'm headed to Lowe's. But first, I went to Lowe's.com, and they got the website in conjunction with the brick and mortar is unparalleled. You know the exact price you're going to pay, whether it's in stock, and you know the location, so you're not wandering around, where's the plumbing section? No, you go to aisle 34, bay 12. That's where my drain snake is, the one I want, and it's so much easier. So I headed on over to the Lowe's in West Sacramento, the locale in West Sacramento, California. And I'm browsing, I'm looking. I know exactly what I'm doing, but I'm looking at the other products around, hanging out. And then Lowe's employee walks by me. He had a vest on. He's like, "Hey, how's your Sunday treating you?" I'm like, "Good. Yeah, fine." And then he goes, "Hey, just want to let you know, we're doing gutter cleanings." And I go, "What?" He's like, "Have you had your gutters cleaned recently?" And I was like, "No, I don't know." How old is your home? And I was like, "Oh, okay, guy, okay, calm down. I get it. I get what you're doing, but I'm focused. I'm locked in." And I just felt bad for him because he probably hates his job, but there's pressure from managers and corporate behemoths on high for him to go around and bug the crap out of people. And I was like, okay, whatever, dude. Leave me alone. Let me buy my stuff. I know exactly. I'm not your average Lowe's customer, bro. I know what I'm doing. I've watched like 6 YouTubes today, totaling in 10 to 12 minutes in length. Okay. Sunday afternoon at a Lowe's. Lots of real men walking around. Red-blooded American men. Like myself, such as me. You know who's home watching football on a Sunday? All the candy-ass losers whining about the NFL. There's games on Peacock, and then there's games on Prime, and then there's other games on Paramount Plus, and then YouTube TV has okay. And then ESPN has the Red Zone, and there's too many games and too many. Have you tried not caring about professional sports? Because when you stop caring, it's freeing. It really is. Get my $10 Groove Pliers, Craftsman brand. Second cheapest. They got this brand called Project Source. Looks like their in-house generic off-brand brand. Looked cheap AF. I was like, oh. But Craftsman, yeah, I guess it's a brand I trust. I don't know. And then I got this $4 drain snake thingy. It's called the Flexi Snake Drain Weasel Plastic Drain Snake thing. $15 total. I'm out. I used the U.S. Bank Shoppers Rewards Card. 6% back at Lowe's. You got to renew it every 3 months, and then you only get to pick 2 retailers. So I do Walmart and Lowe's for the 6% cashback rewards. But it's not a ton of stores, but I always do Walmart and Lowe's, and Lowe's is like rare. We buy stuff from there a couple times a year. Get home with my Groove Pliers and my drain snake, and walk in, and I see my wife, Carolyn, and she goes, "How confident are you in what you're doing?" And I said, "There's no electricity. I'm not welding with the blowtorch. I'm not actually doing any plumbing." Zero confidence is the answer to your question. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to try the Flexi Snake Drain Weasel Plastic Drain Snake thingy. And then if that doesn't work, then I'll use the Groove Pliers to undo the P knuckle, the P pipe. I don't know. To get the pop-up stopper removed. And then if that doesn't work, I got Jeff Bezos' snake drains coming at 6 p.m. ish. So that was my 3-part plan. And I grabbed the Flexi Snake Drain Weasel. I read the directions, I jam it on in there, twist, turn, shake it a baby now, hold it steady, steady, and then you yank it out. And holy Toledo, it worked. By George, it worked. This orange doohickey, the Flexi Snake Drain Weasel, saved me a ton of dough. I didn't have to mess with the pipes. Now I'm ready for the next clog. So what do? I celebrate my achievement in grand fashion. I text my mom what happened. She replies, "So proud of you, son." I was like, "Thanks, Ma. It's only taken 48 years for me to hear that, for you to tell me that. But better late than never, I guess." And then I text my Laotian car consultant, Mr. Pal, and he said he's proud of me. And he said, "To be the man, you have to beat the man." I don't know what that means, but okay, I was rolling with it. And then he added, "Fuck the butt-cracked fat fuck plumber." And I was like, okay, that's no way to speak of Jacob. You don't even know him, but I guess if you want to get all ribald on a Sunday afternoon. I should have brought Len in on all this, the various trials and tribulations, brought him to the lows. But I don't want to fail in front of him, because I kind of knew what I was doing, but if I messed up, or if I just didn't accomplish the task, then I would have looked like a loser in front of him. So I didn't involve him, didn't bother him, but I should have next time, because he sees a handsome guy, funny, lifts, much like Mary Poppins. I'm practically perfect in every way, and I don't want to sully that. I don't want to tarnish that image he has of me in his mind. Vincent Nguyen Nicholas, journeyman plumber here. It's been nearly 6 hours since I started this sojourn. I want to open a drainage repair. Like, I can do one thing, but I can do it. And I'll say West Sac only. Because to get around in West Sac anywhere, it takes 10 minutes or less. And I'll undrain your clogged pipes. And it'll take 5 minutes, and all I ask is $20. This $185. What the heck, dude? And I realize it's people don't know what they're doing, or they're lazy, or they just don't want to figure it out, or it's just easier to do this. And there are some drains that this little $4 tool cannot fix. But for the easy stuff, yeah, West Sac only. I'll be there. Give me a couple minutes. If I'm successful, $20. If I can't fix it, sorry, not sorry. See ya. Wouldn't want to be ya. Bought Lennox a Beatles t-shirt at Walmart, or as my mom pronounces it, Walkma. It was on clearance, $5. Don't sleep on the clearance section at Walmart. I just bought a pair of swimming trunks, $3. Look for the it's either in yellow signage or red signage. Although now our West Sacramento Walmart, they do the digital electronic price tags, so they can alter it via radio signals, change the price through the air, which will result in surge pricing, dynamic pricing, and a front to the poor, if you will. Oh, a tornado's on its way. Well, let's increase the price of water by 600%. Cha-ching! But he wore it yesterday to his friend's birthday party. Len's favorite song, Beatles song, is Eleanor Rigby, which is fine. Look at all the lonely beep, 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 beep. But I maintain the catalog is so much better than that. Hard Day's Night, Help, Hold Your Hand, She Loves You, Can't Buy Me Love. I was actually listening to a bunch of Beatles yesterday when I bought the t-shirt. Went on a Beatles kick, playing it in the living room, grooving with myself with my groove pliers. But Can't Buy Me Love. I buy you diamond rings, my friend. Your friend? You're buying diamond rings for your friend? Okay, is it a friend with benefits, Maca? And does Linda know? Alrighty, well, I think I'm done. Take care. Brush your hair. Peace out. I'm Audi 5000 G Money. Gotta go late. See ya.